This is a video about how to clean and maintain and re-greasing your transmission. This works on any two-wheel drives for the Traxxas Rustler, Bandit, Slash, and Stampede. All you're gonna need is white lithium grease and some moly lithium grease. But first, you need to remove these two screws off the gear cover. Now we got those two screws off. Now you see there's two different sizes. The long one is on the top, the short one's on the bottom. Now it's time to remove the rear bumper. It's held on with 6 screws on bottom. 1 screw right there. And 2 more screws right there. Hey guys, I actually just made a mistake. That's just to hold the lower part of the gearbox. But really, to take the gear cover off is this screw, and that screw in the middle. Sorry for the mess up, guys. There ended up being one more screw at the bottom. Now this bumper could slide out. Sorry for the mistakes, guys. I only took this gearbox off one time to put in my rustler to make sure what was wrong with it before. Now we could unplug those 2 wires and remove those 2 screws that take off the motor. If you have a too big of a spinning spur gear, I should say, it doesn't really matter as long as it stays there. Now to remove the screw off of that shaft, well, you guys can't really see that. Well, the grub screw in there on both sides. After you take out those grub screws, you can slide these off easily. Sorry for the delay. Okay. Now, all you can do is take these 2 screws up top. If you're having a trouble time, then you could, well, taking this gearbox off, there's 2 ways to do it. You can take this front body mount off, and remove these 4 screws. But really, I could do these 2 screws without doing those extra stuff. Alright guys, after those 2 screws off, I actually had to take the rear body mount off. There's end up being 2 more screws. Let's go ahead and do that. Guys, since now you got all those screws off, all you have to do is pull that gearbox off. Okay guys, now you got the gear cover off. All you have to do is remove those 2 screws, these 2 screws, that screw, and that screw. Now you remove all the screws. All you have to do is take apart this slipper clutch assembly in the spur gear. And remove the electrical tape. The electrical tape and the slipper clutch assembly. Now you can take apart this transmission. And look at that, guys. This is what happens when you don't re-grease this every 2 years. Well, this gear has never been re-greased. You can see it's bone dry. In the other box, I have the other stuff. I'm not missing anything. Now, let's grease these up. You have to take these 4 screws to grease the inside of the differential. You can see here too, it's basically bone dry in the differential. Now I'm going to grease these up with moly lithium. Now I greased the transmission. Now you need to put that cover back on using 4 screws. Okay, now once your differential is greased up and it spins freely, like when you turn this side to like this way, the other side should steer the opposite. If it doesn't move at all, you have to redo it. Now let's put this back in the transmission. Everything in there. Now it's time to put some white lithium grease on all 3 of the gears. Okay, I put some grease in it. I might have put a little too much in, but that's okay. You need a lot in there. All you need to do is put the gear cover back in. Put one of the shortest screws right there, and then put the rest of the screws, but leave these 2 screws alone if you have a slash or a wheelie bar. Okay, once you got all those screws in, now you need to put in electrical tape, which I already did. Now it's time to put it into the car. You got the gear and transmission gears in. What you have to do is put these drive shafts in, put it in there only with 1 screw. You got the drive shafts in now. All you need to do is just put two screws on the top to screw into the transmission box. After those two screws on top, and then now to put these two pins in from the A-arms. Now you got those two screws in. Sorry for that. Now you got those two screws in. Now the time to put the slipper clutch assembly inside. Now after you got that in, now it's time to put the motor in. But you don't need to tighten it all the way. You need to tighten it up, get the right proper spacing, then tighten it. Now you got the motor back in and plugged in with that. Wait, hold up. Now you have the six. Sorry. Now you have the six screws that go on bottom. Now you put the gear cover back on. Now, the longest screw goes on the top, and the shortest of the screw goes on the bottom. Now you get the bumper on. I don't know which one, guys, but I'll tell you the ones after I make this part for putting the bumper back on. Okay. Now I notice the longest one goes right here. The second the longest goes right here. Then the one the shortest goes right there. Now this one, I realized I did not have to take out. Now let's get the rear body mount on, which is in with two screws. And that's how you clean your transmission. Now, if you drive your car or any vehicle you have a lot, you do have to do it every 2 years. But if you don't drive it that much, maybe 3 years the max. But if you drive it a lot, you go off-road a lot, you constantly do it, then once a year. But if you do it for a little bit of time, but you do it off-road, just kind of do it like not so much, but you do it once in a while, then you have 2 years for off-roading. So yeah, that's how you clean your transmission for your two-wheel drive Traxxas vehicles.